Hi guys, my name is Zax and welcome to Club United, a channel dedicated to bringing you Manchester United related content. This channel is for the fans by a fan. So please like, share and subscribe so I can continue making more videos like this for you. Manchester United is our club, so be a member. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at the reasons possibly why Manchester United have been performing so badly. Clearly there's something going wrong at the club. Manchester United have suffered 5 defeats from their last 9 games. United have long established a pattern of playing their best football when the odds are clearly stacked against them. So just the little thought of having Manchester United win against Liverpool is something that many people didn't consider possible. But I know for most fans, if you're being honest with me, there was that burning hope that you're hoping that Manchester United could actually be able to beat Liverpool. Regardless of the high-flowing and high-performing Salah, there was that little hope that you believed that Manchester United could actually win. Unfortunately, that seemed to have been vanished within just 15 minutes of the game. United are without a win in their last 4 Premier League games. So it's obviously that we have to talk about those defensive problems that everyone seems to be talking about within the club and everyone else associated with the club. So what exactly is the problem with these defensive guys in Manchester United? I think it's very important that we look back at last season when Manchester United have gained 31 points from losing positions. What this simply means is the team had to go on and win propelled by the attacking strength of the team. 31 points is a lot of points considering the amount of goals we are conceding. All the expectations that we had from the beginning of this season when Manchester United were able to finally secure Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. I mean, this guy has won it all. The Champions League, La Liga, the World Cup. He's a very, very capable defender who adds experience to the Manchester United squad. So just having someone like Rafael Varane, you think that our defensive problem will be solved. As we all knew that Manchester United were seeking the perfect partner for Harry Maguire. As it stands, heading into that Liverpool game, before we even talk about the injuries, which we knew that Rafael Varane was not going to be taking part in this game, but still, Victor Lindelof has been a capable defender and a partner for Harry Maguire for the entire of last season. So I wasn't expecting the defensive errors to be this incredible. The defensive stats for this season, they are just blowing my mind. Like honestly, Manchester United have conceded 15 goals just from 9 games this season and managed to secure just only 1 clean sheet. Now if that doesn't tell you that the defense is not performing as it should, then nothing else will. So for some of these errors, you wonder exactly what's going on in that dressing room. Like what is the culture when it comes to our defensive work? I'm thinking when I saw that Liverpool game, Wan-Bissaka for the first goal, where he ran into the opposition box and he was caught out and he couldn't make it on time back to defend to get that last minute tackle, and we conceded our first goal. Not only that, the second goal was even more crazy, with Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw even bumping into one another, clearly showing that there's no communication between these guys. And what shocks me the most about such a performance is when you look at the partnership that Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw have managed to have for the England side back in the summer when we were watching the Euros. They formed an incredible partnership that managed to get England all the way to the finals. And now that they're back in a Manchester United jersey, these guys aren't even capable of communicating. They're colliding and making such clumsy mistakes. Harry Maguire is the captain of the club. If he cannot instill that type of defensive leadership, if he cannot instill that type of defensive work rate, then no one else will. So I know what you're probably thinking. How come he's gone on and on about the defensive problems and has failed to mention Gunnar Solskjaer, the coach, as being the biggest problem in Manchester United, especially now where Ole out has been trending 2 years consecutively with fans demanding an immediate sacking of Ole. The reason why I'm not really going to go into the sacking of Ole or blaming him to be the main problem for Manchester United problems is the reality is we're probably stuck with him for a while. So depending on how I feel about the coach and how you feel about the coach, our feelings may vary, but I just want us to agree on one thing. Ole is going to be here for a while. So how best can we try to maneuver within this Ole reign? The main things we have to solve is the midfield puzzle. The midfield puzzle is probably the biggest thing that we have to sort out, and we have to talk about McFred, the combination of Fred and McTominay. This is obviously one of the main reasons why Manchester United were tipped or were suggested to be focusing their attention on buying a defensive-minded midfielder. But by the end of the transfer season, we couldn't secure a defensive-sided midfielder. We had to work with what we had. And to be honest, I personally don't have a problem with McTominay. I think his work rate is incredible. I think he gets those duels. I think he challenges for the ball. And with most people, I think they will agree it's mostly Fred that people have concerns over. But in his defense, he can argue and say when Manchester United lost 4-2, he wasn't there. He was recovering from his national duties. And when we won, in the Atalanta game midweek, after a stunning comeback with Cristiano Ronaldo scoring the winning goal, he played some incredible football on that day. But the problem is, when you're challenging the big names like Liverpool and Chelsea, we need consistency. And we're failing to get consistency with Fred and McTominay, which is clearly the biggest problem. So Gunnar Solskjaer has to fix this midfield problem. And the best way to fix this midfield problem will be the best pairing, who works best with McTominay, who gets those balls, who gets the most work. Because what I really appreciated over last week, and the reason why I'm not really going to go into Ole or what I personally feel about him and why he should be sacked, is simply because if you really look at it, I like the approach that most of our Manchester United fans took responsibility for the results, took responsibility for this devastating spell that we're going through. Ronaldo, in his Sky Sports public duties, he explained that he takes responsibility and the players who take responsibility. Luke Shaw did the same things after the Liverpool game. Harry Maguire did the same thing. So if players are taking responsibility for how we are performing, this shows you that there has to be change within the team before we go and point fingers at the coach. So just with this in mind, let's talk about the work rate. Manchester United have been heavily criticized for the work rate. With the teams that were competing against for the title, the likes of Liverpool, the likes of Manchester City, the likes of Chelsea, our forwards do not work as hard as those other forwards, which is mind-blowing, which is just mind-blowing, because to be able to win the Premier League, you have to work like a dog, you have to slave, you have to win those duels, you have to be tackling, you have to be aggressive. And it seems for Manchester United, our forwards are not working as hard, they are not pushing. This is why we're seeming to be having this problem. This is why we seem to be losing these balls. This is why it seemed to be a clearly one-sided game when he played Liverpool. It was not, no one enjoyed watching that game, but that's the reality. The work rate has to be put under the spotlight. We have to talk about the work rate. Manchester United forwards have to start working, because as it stands, they're not working hard enough. People aren't tackling, people aren't marking, people aren't passing the ball. We're losing the ball in the easiest of ways. Which brings me to my final point, Cristiano Ronaldo. Is Cristiano Ronaldo the problem in Manchester United after securing a sensational comeback to his home club? Cristiano Ronaldo is also being criticized for his work rate in the team, his defensive duties, his marking. But when you're looking at Cristiano Ronaldo, I think what most people forget is Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't really changed his style of play. He has been successful at Real Madrid. Probably that's where he really cemented his status as the best player of the game. But when he got to that level, he's pretty much playing the same football that he's playing at Manchester United. He was not the best marker, but it was the team that he was playing with, the midfielders he had to support him. You know he's guaranteed goals. And I feel like what we have to appreciate and what we have to take responsibility is, when we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, we knew that he was going to be scoring goals. And we knew that he was not going to be marking as much. So when we raised our expectations to be able to challenge for the title or finally win the title, we knew Cristiano Ronaldo was going to be the best player positioning wise, he's going to be there, the right moment, he's going to make those important runs when he sees that these are necessary. He's going to be very calculative with his game. So we knew that. So how come now it's a situation where a lot of people are now starting to point fingers at Cristiano Ronaldo? The thing has to be a team effort, which he clearly stated. It has to be a team effort. And his goal scoring record right now is looking very good. He's managed to secure 6 goals in 9 games. Meaning there is still a high chance that he still can win the Golden Boot for Manchester United. But what we're saying is those goals are not enough to win the league. Those goals are not enough to get us over the line. This is why we're looking at all these problems that we're facing at the club. With 6 goals in 9 games since returning to England, it's clear that Cristiano Ronaldo is still a very capable goal scorer at 36 years old. So the problem with Manchester United is not goals. So with this scenario in mind, where Ole remains our coach for the remainder of the season, how best can you get Manchester United to winning ways and challenging for the title? So I'm curious to hear from you guys what you guys think. How best do you guys think we can challenge for the title? What are some of the problems that I didn't talk about, that I didn't mention, that can help us to win? How do we include Cavani into our game? We know he's capable, we know he presses high. How do we best include Jadon Sancho? He was signed for an incredible amount of money, but he hasn't been playing. He has to find his rhythm. Donny van der Berg hasn't even had the chance to play. He's considering leaving the club in January. So I'm very curious to hear from you guys. How do you think Manchester United are able to get back to winning ways? So be sure to hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe so I can continue making more videos like this for you. Comment because your opinion matters at the Club United, where you guys are the members. Please check out my socials, all linked in the description below. Instagram, Twitter, where we can keep the conversation going. This is Club United. Check you in the next video.